Okay, we're live.
Hey!
Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. Welcome to An Affair with Bodies. And today we have joining with us the very beautiful Kalpana Raghuraman, who is
Hi,
an actress.
Isha.
Hi! Certified facilitator and a 3-day body class facilitator. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Isha. Thanks for having me. And hello, everybody. And I love the title of your series, An Affair with the Body. I'm like, wow, I love it.
Thank you so much. And today's topic is really, really exciting and interesting, which is embracing movement for the creation of a greater reality.
Hmm.
And I love it so much because I know, and a lot of other people do too, what a beautiful capacity you have with movement, which is very different because, when we talk about movement and the body, people directly go to working out and exercising, which is so different to
Mm.
actually what movement really is.
I love that awareness, actually. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because when you think of that, like working out and stuff, it's usually very judgment oriented. So not so fun.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when was the first time you started exploring your capacities with movement and your body? Did you always have ease with movement, or is it something you started to explore later on?
I had the fortune to have chosen a mom who was a dance teacher. She was one
Oh,
of the
wow.
first, yeah, she was the first, one of the first Indian classical. She taught Bharatanatyam, which is a dance, South Indian dance form. And she was one of the first to start a school in Holland. So she was still performing and teaching when she was pregnant with me. So I always say I started early. So, and in that way, it was something so part of my life that it was an organic part of my life. Like she used to teach, I'd go and watch her. I would sometimes dance. I would be a brat, you know. So she'll send me away because I was talking too much and laughing too much. Then I'll dance again. So it was like all of that and more. That definitely, I cannot say that it was always easy because the thing is, and what I just talked about, also this energy of judgment, we have learned that things have to be in a certain way, including movement. So if you look at dance, you can see that people actually, if you look at dancers, they do a lot of judgment. They do an extreme amount of judgment about getting the movement right and how should your body look like, blah, blah, blah. So I was definitely also, you know, subject to that. And yet it was always there. So it was like there was one capacity which was just, it was part of my life. I was on stage when I was like 5 or something. So it was so natural. And then I did also the blah blah of this reality with it. And then when Access came, it was like, oh, I don't have to do that one thing anymore. I can just have it. I don't have to diminish it by judging it. And that changed a lot for me. That changed a huge amount for me.
Wow, that's wonderful. That is beautiful. That's so interesting because and I have spoken about this earlier, but it's just it's such a huge topic because when people come to access, very few people have the awareness of what actually is possible with your body.
Yeah.
Pain is considered more appropriate and more acceptable in this reality, especially.
So true.
And,
So
and
true.
movement is a form of actually pleasure with your body, enjoying your body, receiving your
Exactly.
body.
Yeah, beautifully said. Absolutely. And I mean, I have seen, because I've been dancing for so many years and seen all kinds of performances and worked with all kinds of dancers, I've seen the immense capacities of bodies. I mean, I posted it a few days ago. I'm here in West Africa where my husband has a space and we had this event and there were these kids like doing crazy stuff. And you're just like, how do you even do that? So this beyond this reality possibilities with bodies is something that has been in my life all my life. It's with Access that in a way like the dust was taken off, you know, the layer of dust of judgments and of what is and what isn't and what I can and what I cannot was taken off. And so you suddenly have this shining diamond without all the blah blah, without all the stuff that keeps it contained and keeps you from enjoying it as well. So the way I enjoy it now is so different than the way I used to as well, because the access tools give you that new space, a new consideration, new perspective.
I love what you just, the energy that you just brought up, the thing about um, the dust going away and what's underneath coming to the surface, which is so, which reminds me of the question, what is the beautiful energy underneath this? No?
Yeah, yes, good one. I love it. Yeah. True.
Because it's like, even with the quote unquote, the pain with the body, people have stiffness, people have this, a lot of people are just lazy, plain simple lazy. I know I
True.
am in a lot of areas, so just saying that, acknowledging that.
Acknowledging what you know.
And then a lot of people go into the wrongness of not having the point of view, their own point of view of believing that they don't have the capacity to move as much as that is actually possible, which is just a lie, which is again what is on the surface. Because
Yeah.
what lies underneath it is movement, which actually your body can invite and lead you to, rather than you having to force your body into it.
Exactly. And it's like totally the other way around, right? Than what we've learned. We've learned that the mind must control the body to do what you want. And here it's like the body going, "You want to come? Let me show you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you talk more about your body leading you to possibilities and movement with possibilities?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's one of the things that, we have so many judgments and projections and expectations of what is possible. And mostly this reality is about what is not possible. And we have a lot of, if you look at body and movement, there's a lot of ideas about, oh no, you should have started when you were young, or I'm not flexible enough, or I just don't have it in me. There's all these points of view that we
I
use
love
as
that one.
a,
I just don't have it in me.
yeah, I just don't have it in me. I tried twice and it's not working. And it's like, that's just reason and justification, of why you cannot. And the why you cannot, there's like a list we can make up of why we can't. And when you take away those points of view, you're like, oh shit, wow, wait a minute, my body can so much. And um, if you look at the fact that you use so much energy you waste so much energy by judging yourself and your body. If you don't judge your body anymore and you don't judge yourself anymore, all this energy becomes available that is creative and generative. And it's like your body can show you, it's like, okay, now that you took away the lid, now that you took away the brake, the body can show you. The body will literally show you how you can move. And it's just something we have never learned, because like you rightly said, we've always learned that the head has to show you, the head has to control it, and you have to control your body and force your body to move in a certain way. And one of the things that I do a lot with working with dance, because I have a dance company, is also like, hey, let your body show you what it knows, which you cannot expect or project, with your head. And so it's a very different, it demands a lot of trusting. Sorry, it's noisy here. It demands trusting your body and allowing it to show you. And a lot of times we want this result straight away. Like, I want to be able to put my foot in my neck, and it's not working now, so therefore it's over. And like you said, we tend to get lazy, and even just like, we don't get it now, then it's just like, okay, fine, leave it. Instead of like, hey body, like, what do you require for this? What movement would you have to do? What would I have to choose? What can I be? What's body process? Like, what is required for this to become a reality? And then you start to co-create with your body instead of force your body. And then what I've seen is like the aches and pains actually go away, because it's not from force, but it's from the body, not from your mind.
Wow,
I
not
love how your body just relaxed,
yeah,
Isha.
yeah. It's like not from force. That's a huge one. That's a huge one. How many people do movement with force and effort, which is actually not embodiment? It's more, doesn't it go into more of an energy of proving to yourself, I don't know, it's a weird energy of proving with force and effort, which doesn't have to be there.
It's also result oriented, right? Like when I put my foot in my leg, no, my foot in my neck, maybe better, not in my leg. Like if when when I make that movement, then blah blah blah. And so it's about the result. But if it's not with force, you actually enjoy this exploration of your body where you're like, oh my God, my leg is suddenly going higher today. And there is the process and the path that is a gift. And you're not like only busy with the result, which is basically this reality. So it becomes this whole different exploration of your body.
That
And
is
then
beautiful,
it's
yeah.
not like you said. Then it's not about anybody even. It's not about showing it or proving, but it's like, oh my God, like for yourself. And from that comes the joy that emanates, and people are curious. But that's totally from a being and not a doing and a proving. So it's so different.
Yeah. Wow, that is so beautiful. If I had to ask you, if there are people watching right now who are identifying themselves with, oh, I use more force and effort, which is more like what is on top,
Yeah.
what would you say to them? What are the tools you would offer to invite them to tapping into what actually the beauty that lies underneath that?
Yeah, great question, Isha. Well, first of all, I would say that if you would like any definition of you, because we have like people like we spoke about, like, oh, I'm not into this, or I love it but I can't do it, or I'm not flexible, or I'm really stiff. We have all these definitions about our body and ourselves. So destroy and uncreate all of those. Let that whole idea of what you can and cannot do go, so you already open up a space. And then what if you like, it can be as simple as putting on music and just sitting in your bedroom, like, and like go like, hey buddy, like what do you want to do? And you might be doing something funny, but like it's like, what if you allow that childlike curiosity to take you? And this is a way where you would notice that your body's doing something like, oh my God, wow, okay. And you can explore. And this willingness to be curious like a child is also where the body gets more space to express itself. If you see kids moving, they have no point of view about if they fell or if their legs are up, and if they're like, they don't have a point of view because they're just curious. And that enthusiasm that comes from curiosity will allow your body to get more activated and more joyful also.
Yeah, absolutely. And the childlike wonder is such a beautiful invitation to the body because I've actually never heard it like this before. When I think of childlike wonder, I always go to, oh, my being. I never go
Ah,
to inviting your body to tapping into the childlike wonder.
nice one. Yeah, but if you look at how children move with their bodies, they have like, it's kind of like that's when you're allowed as a girl to still show your underwear because you're just a kid, like you fall and your skirt goes up and everybody's like, okay, it's okay, still, But it's like there's no point of view about where your leg is and where your head is. And if you fall, the kid gets up again and searching something. And there is no I cannot in the world of that body. There is no I should not in the world of that body. And that is the energy that I'm speaking to. And that is what the curiosity can, in a way, unlock that you might have hidden or turned off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, and another thing that is there is your body doesn't actually have any points of views. That thing of, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Your body actually has the awareness of and the capacity to tap into so many different energies, but it may have a preference, right? Like,
Totally. Totally. Like you might prefer football over basketball, or you prefer to walk and some people like to run, or that's just a priority. But it's not that you cannot, but a lot of times we confuse them. So that's a really good point. It's more like, what do you prefer, but doesn't mean you cannot do the other thing. So and this thing of the body not having a point of view is also like, if you see somebody do something that you are intrigued by, or that you go, that you admire, what if you ask your body to tap into the other body? I'm going to use a very silly but super simple example. Like I remember there was this exercise thing that my husband got, and my body was like, oh, I want to do it. So it was like, it's like this thing that you push forward and backwards.
the
And I
roller,
was
the
using,
rollerblade.
yeah, the roller. And I did it, but I was like, okay, I'm doing it weird. And then he was like, no, 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 not like that. And he did it. And I literally asked his body to tell my body what to do. And then I did it. And then he was like, there you go. And I'm like, okay, like cognitively, and didn't necessarily get what I did different, but my body got the information from his body. So what if you would start to allow yourself to receive information about movement from other bodies, and that it doesn't have to go through the filter of your mind and your cognition and your reason and logic
And distractor implants, doubt.
and distractor implants and judgments and all that stuff. Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Such a different perspective. It's such
Yeah. And then it becomes also like, oh my God, wow, I wonder, and then it becomes again that curiosity gets turned on and gets opened up. And I think we've so much been aware of judgment around how we move and the way we're supposed to, and as a girl or as a boy or as an adult or as a child, and all those considerations that block us. And if you're simply like, the body has no point of view, and it's kind of like giving permission to your body to override your mind. It's like, okay, ignore my mind, just go for it. Show me. Which is a really cool trick as well.
yeah, that's amazing. That is beautiful. Let's
That and yeah, please, please,
skip the
please go
distractor
ahead.
implants, please, and can we just directly go to possibilities? That would be great. Thank you so much.
Exactly. Let's take the highway, right? Like instead of like the roundabout way, let's take the shortcut and make it easier. And it's also what I've seen with, sometimes if somebody learns, let's say, use like ballet, and they have never done ballet, they will pick it up easier than when somebody has done it already and then they start again with somebody else, because they have all these considerations that they picked up from the first teacher, and that all the judgments and reference points that they're like, oh no, but I thought it was like this, and no, 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 my teacher did like that. And so it's really like, if you allow yourself to be like a child and have no points of reference about how your body does it and how it should be done, like you will really get surprised how quickly you can pick up stuff and how easy and fun it can be. And it doesn't have to be, it might be intense, you might have muscle ache, but muscle ache can be so sweet. It's like, whoa, it's like hurting but in a nice way. It's just like your body is changing, and it's very different from the muscle ache that comes when you've been like battering yourself over and like badgering yourself in the gym school, and you're like, ah.
It's like building the muscle, right? Even with regards to interesting point of view, having no doubt, having no doubt.
Totally, totally,
Be willing
totally,
to
totally.
build the muscle of it, and
Yeah.
that's where embodiment really lies.
Absolutely. And it's like, because as you have more allowance, the more joy comes up, and more joy, more allowance. So it feeds into each other. And, our bodies, the less we are having judgments, the more we have allowance, the less the tightness of the muscles and the tightness of the whole skeletal coordination becomes available, because it's literally the judgments that create the tissues and everything to get tight. So it's like, how much joy can you literally instill in your body and allow all the rigidity and stiffness to wash away, melt away.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. With the energy that you're bringing up about joy, what I'm getting right now is how many times do people cut off movement from their life? And that actually leads to cutting off joy from their life as
Wow.
well.
Exactly. Oh, big, 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 big. I mean, children are moving all the time, and it already starts when you go to school, and then you're fidgeting, and then you get in trouble, right? Because you have to sit still and ask a child to. It's always like asking a child to sit still is like really, really very silly, because they have so much energy in their body, but they get battered. We all have gotten through that, where we had to like control ourselves and control our body, and then at a certain moment we're just like this very stiff people, because we have learned to do that in such a dynamic way for so long that our body just gets really stiff. And then movement is something like, oh yeah, that, but then means I have to be with my body, it's like literally taken away from us, but it's never lost. It's just like, hey, what if you can open that up again and choose it again?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is beautiful, totally. And even the muscle of being present. how much more present can we actually, it's like there's an infinite universe, right? You can never be present enough. You can never move
Exactly.
enough. You're never joyful enough. There's always more, there's always greater
I
available.
love that. There's no limit. I love that, Isha. Exactly, exactly. And we have been taught, like you said, we're not present with our bodies, and we've movement has kind of been cut off from our daily life. So it becomes like this effort, like, oh, I have to get up earlier to work out, and it becomes this thing. But if you would actually, I say that a lot to people. I'm like, if you're working behind a computer every day, you don't have to sit stiff. You can be moving your body. You can sit in different positions. You can literally include your body and move your body as you're doing even a work that might seem very, non-movemental, like you can still have movement in your life. And the more you do that, the more you will become aware. Like when you go get that coffee, you might be skipping or you might be jumping, or like it's actually where in the small things, the movement, letting that come in. I mean, I skip a lot. I'm really like a kid, and sometimes my husband is like, oh my god, you're so weird. I'm like, I know, but it's just like that's what, it's like, what if like those small moments where you walk from your computer to the bathroom or to the kitchen or you go to the grocery store, what if those movements become more embodied in a way, instead of just dragging your body to a place? And
Oh,
that is already such a different way of living.
yeah. Oh, that is totally different. Most bodies on this planet are dragging themselves along the way.
Right, they're like like a backpack, it's like, oh yeah, gotta take this one with me, otherwise it doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yeah, it
Yeah, and if you,
reminds me of the time I went trekking. I was like, this was way before access. I did not have the
oh
awareness of movement back then. So,
yeah,
yeah, totally. It's such
it,
a different way of being alive in the world.
totally.
Even,
And that movement becomes also like where you allow movement. Like we as humanoids are movemental, change loving people, and it's like in a way this movement that has been cut off from our daily life is also where we get more rigid and solid, like solidified. And I see that more you allow that movement in your body, the more it can actually enter into your world and into your life.
that is so beautiful. And also, with movement, what is possible is we don't have to attack our limitations to kill them anymore. We can actually melt.
I love that.
We can actually
I will keep the gun at home.
you can actually melt all the limitations by giving energy to joy, to movement, and those limitations can actually leave our world without us even having to do anything about it.
I, I love it. I love it. I love it. So beautiful. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Thank you.
That is
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you for bringing up that energy. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Any last words for people watching right now?
I would say, like, what if you start to include your body, like in the small things? Because a lot of times people say, oh no, but I don't have a dance class in my neighborhood, or the gym is too far away. It's like this thing that they have to take effort, but your body's always there. You don't really need to necessarily. It might be that your body loves swimming, so you have to find an ocean or a sea or a swimming pool. Even there, ask your body to show you what kind of movement it likes. And what if you start to include it? Like, even, with the COVID confinement, I saw so many people going crazy behind their computer. And I was like telling people, come on, just like have fun with your, don't sit necessarily all the time. If you have a laptop on the desk, sit on the floor, lie, stretch, find different ways. Like there is always a whole different way of including your body through movement when you're doing that. So what if it's the small things that can actually open up a whole new world for you and your body?
Wow, that is beautiful. Awesome.
Thanks, Isha. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody.
Kalpana. Thank you guys for watching and being here and for your presence. And I will see you next week. Thank you,
Thank
Kalpana,
you.
for joining in.
Thanks, Sunny. Bye, everybody. Bye bye.